Hello again, it's Andrew, and this is another speed draw. This time it's some characters of my own. Alice and Dorothy, obviously based on Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz, if it was not clear enough. Alice is a character that I've actually had for a while, and she was based on some personal stories basically made back in high school and so on, and I just wanted to try and do something new with her, and try to develop her story and her characters, and the characters that surround her world a little bit more. For the past couple years, I've been developing her a little bit more, and it's one of those things where I've had so many characters over the years, and they're always constantly evolving. And that's the thing about having characters. It's like you grow with them, and you bring all sorts of different things to the table as you grow, and as you learn new things, and stories that come along. And in your head, things will come up over time when you're creative. It's just it's a constant evolution with characters, and sometimes you think one story will work with a character, but then later on, it doesn't really work that way, and you try something else, and it's really all about what you best feel comfortable with the characters that you create. I mean, you have to really make something that you enjoy, as well as what other people might enjoy. Sometimes that involves making a new story or a concept around them and try to get them to do something that others haven't seen before, but at the same time, you want to really work with something that you like, because if you don't like what you're making, then there's not really much creativity to work with, and you're just going to go through the motions. It's why sometimes I don't want to develop something that I've worked on for a couple of years, because after a while, as much as I want to, I know I will eventually get to it, and I will finish something, but I sometimes need to take a break to try something different, or develop something that hasn't had as much development, and I guess it's a way so I just don't feel stale. There isn't a matter in both aspects to try and force yourself to get something to work, but if you can't, then you shouldn't really stress yourself over it, because otherwise it's going to come out looking forced. When I do something that is more personal work than paid work, I have to really be careful not to overthink, because if I do that, then it won't come out right in the end. I always tell folks, in order to achieve a final result of something, that they have to not worry about the final result in the first place, because the more you worry about how a piece is going to turn out in the end while you're working on it, the more likely you're not going to ever achieve that ending result, or you're just going to give up altogether because you just don't want to disappoint yourself or others. You have to have a set idea or a concept of what you want, and the point is to work with the journey and think of the now and not the future. Like think of it as if you went on a hiking trip. Do you think about the end of the trip or what you do during it? It's kind of like why we prepare for possibilities, like we get thirsty, so we bring water so we don't get dehydrated. We put on sunscreen so we don't get burned. We know how to prepare for moments like getting bit by a rattlesnake. It's not something that we want to run into, but if we have to, then we have to know to prepare for moments like that, just in case it happens. It's like how are we going to handle it when it comes across? But if you worry too much about the end, the middle portions are just going to get muddled, and you can't really do anything about it. I think it's kind of the same with drawing. If something doesn't look right, you can fix it. The point is to get it down first. Some folks really obsess with certain things, like, hands or the eyes, and they spend so much time on it that they never get the entire piece done anyway. So you should at least get an initial setup prepared so that you can see what you want to do from there and just go for it. It's good to have the tools and the preparation, but you get things done more just by doing them. I know that sounds really simple, but the less you worry about something, the more you will achieve something. And if it's not something the way you want it by the end, you can always try again with a different approach, because that's really how you learn. If you make a mistake, you have to fix it somehow. So there you go. And I hope that advice kind of helps a little bit, because I know I come across a lot of people who have that issue, and whenever they tell me it's like, oh, I can never get a piece done or something, I just tell them that. It's like, don't worry about the final product. Just do it. Just get like a sketch done. If you don't like it, do little tweaks here and there. The roughing stage should be the funnest part of the entire drawing. That's why I love to look at sketches and stuff like that, because a finished piece looks great, but you should have fun getting to that point. There are pieces that just look really stiff and stale, as beautiful as they are, but if you don't have fun with that initial setup, the end result is just gonna, it's gonna look stiff and stale. So, I like to hope that my work kind of comes across that way, because I just have so much fun with the roughing. And honestly, cleanup and color is like my least favorite my least favorite portion of the entire drawing, but because it just takes so long to get the final result. I know you shouldn't worry about the final result. It's just like getting there is just such a hassle to me. I just love to create, I love to draw, and I love to just think of the new ideas. And with all the characters that I have, Dorothy is a new character with Alice. I mean, if you can see right now, it's like they are rival characters, and I have never, like 10 years ago, when I was working a little bit with an Alice concept before, I didn't really think of the whole concept with Dorothy. So as time went on, you realize, hey, that's a cool idea, maybe I should try it out, see how it would work, and there you go. I have Alice versus Dorothy. They're rivals, and it's just stuff that you have to really experiment with, and you never know unless you try. So I hope that gives you some insight on my thought process, I suppose. And I hope you like the drawing, and I will try to get more videos to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.